right, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Seltzer Time podcast. It's your boy Ricky, aka Dick Chuck, aka the man behind the can at Seltzer Time Official. Here is always my conversation accomplice, the man with the hunch about Worcester, Travis.
What is crackin', Fizzle Fiends? Welcome back to another episode of the Seltzer Time podcast. As always, we are so glad you were with us. Thanks for coming back and joining us during this time of staying in place. Hope you all are not going too crazy and you're spending some time outside where you can.
That's what I'm doing. Like right when we're done with this, I'm going outside.
Yeah, so I'm going to move my workspace outside today, and I'm going to work off the back deck, and it's going to be lovely. We cleaned it off all, we spent yesterday outside.
Nice.
But so this week on the show, we were screwing up everything because this whole Zoom thing. This week on the show, we have Katie Ohanesian, taproom manager from Timberyard Brewing.
Hello.
Hi, Katie.
Thanks
What's up,
for joining
guys?
us. Living life and loving it, Katie. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
So, but before we get there, we have to do this. Hey, Ricky, how was your week?
My week was good, man. Just a lot of hanging out, a lot of coffee and breakfast sandwiches, which has been really good. And a lot of water.
Stepping up the DIY breakfast sandwich game.
Dude, it's like my favorite thing. Yesterday, we didn't even make breakfast sandwiches yesterday, but when I woke up, it's the first thing I wanted to do. And then we just kind of like laid around and didn't really do anything, and then went for a walk. And by the time we got home, we went to Crust and bought some bread and cheese, and then came home and made a pizza. So we made breakfast sandwiches this morning. So
That pizza looks really good. I need to hear more about that pizza.
Dude, it was awesome. So we bought the dough at Crust a couple days ago, and then we put it off. Yesterday we were out. We're like, what are we gonna eat? What are we gonna eat? And, we have that pizza dough. Like, let's just do it. So we made broccoli and orange pepper pizza, and it was so delicious.
Sounds bomb.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I like Naomi running past.
Last night I did that whole like Bud Light, like I drank that Bud Light seltzer thing. So I was like trying to like film a bunch of videos in the kitchen while we were making the pizza doing it. And it was funny because so I like took one of me talking, and if you look, you can see her like walk into the kitchen, notice she's on camera, and turn right around and walk out. And like her sister saw it and screenshot like a picture of her like walking out. It was so funny.
That was going to be my question. How was the Bud Light seltzer experience?
It was good. I mean, like I'm not going to run out and drink it. I'm not a huge fan of like the alcoholic seltzer idea. Like I like my coffee straight and my seltzer straight. Everything else can have alcohol if it wants, but I'm just not a big fan of like spiked things that I drink throughout the day that don't need alcohol. But it was good. It was fine. I would drink it again for sure. It wasn't as bad as I heard it was going to be. A lot of people DM me and were like, dude, this is disgusting. But it was cool. Still haven't heard back from Bud Light about that sponsorship, but it's okay.
Damn it. I saw somebody shout out that Corona, like pardon the pun or pardon the joke, that Corona seltzer is actually pretty good too.
Yeah, I've seen that online, but I haven't. That's one that I'll probably never try. I don't think I'll be trying really any other ones except for the Bud Light one. And then whatever the polar one is, the Arctic Summer. Those are pretty good. But
I don't drink, but depending on how long this thing goes on, I am strongly considering just getting bombed one night on like just to try all those seltzers at once and content, film myself doing it. Just terrorizing.
Like a drunk history, but with Seltzer Time.
So we tried doing that, and it was okay, but I would like to do it somehow different.
Yeah, I'm down.
Katie, how would you make it more of our?
I'll be there.
For starters.
How was your week?
My week was good. Sorry, Katie.
The Zoom is like cutting out a little, so I'm like, who's talking now?
Thank you, technology. My week was good, man. I'm just sheltering in place like everybody else is. Working as much as I can, or as much as my lethargy will allow. I got a phone call from my grandma when you and I were talking.
Yes.
So Ricky and I were catching up, and I got a phone call from my grandmother, which doesn't normally happen. So I'm like, Ricky, I'm sorry, man. I got to take this call. Put our meeting on hold. Talk to her. She was so sweet. She just wants to catch up. Woman just turned 90. Super cute woman. She tells me that really the one thing that she misses more than anything else is that she misses pizza. I'm like, Grandma, we can get you pizza. But she's like, well, I was told that I need a computer to order pizza.
Oh.
And she doesn't have a computer.
That
So
makes sense.
Grandma,
My grandma's not a computer person.
Yeah, right?
Ugh.
So I go on DoorDash, set her up, order her pizza from her favorite spot. She has a very specific order. It's half mushroom, half bacon, all garlic. You have to tell them to put garlic on it because it's not pizza if it doesn't have garlic.
Yeah.
Thanks, Grandma. And then put the order through. And of course, no good deed goes unpunished. The freaking order has like a mess up. The driver gets there and there's no order for it. So it's this whole pain in the ass thing.
That sucks.
I wish I knew this driver's name because they went above and beyond. I told them the situation. I'm like, dude, I'm out of state trying to do this for my grandmother. They made sure that they went back, picked up the pizza, got her the pizza. I got this excited phone call from my grandmother telling me that she got it. And then she went ahead and called my parents, who then went ahead and called everybody else. So I got a bunch of text messages from my brother and sister saying that I'm a brown noser.
That's so funny.
But it was awesome.
I'm trying to sit in a spot where I'm not like white.
You want to put the sun on your face.
I did that.
Oh,
there we go. That's a little better.
So
I have to keep my phone plugged in because I'm an idiot and didn't plug it in last night. So it's about to die. So I have to sit like where the charger is. It's like,
do you not have video camera on your laptop?
I do, but my laptop also is probably about to die because I haven't plugged that in days. So I did not prepare for this at all. I'm an idiot.
You have plugs in your house?
We do, but I don't feel like my laptop charger, I'd have to sit in a different spot because it's not as long as this phone charger. And then, so like the last time we did this, I used Naomi's iPad, but that also is dead. I fell asleep watching stuff. So I didn't think about plugging anything in literally until about 12:50 or 11:50. And I was like, fuck, how am I going to do this with something that's going to last? So we went with the phone. It's whatever. I just look whiter than usual.
That's awesome. The only other thing I wanted to touch on before getting into the interview was that, did you guys see that Worcester Public Schools officially went online today and that kids are starting back up?
Oh, really?
So anybody that's listening to this that didn't get that message, go to worcesterschools.org and you'll see they're going to post daily curriculum and they have assets for all levels of education.
That's really cool.
Could be
what are the kids?
If anybody's looking to brush up on like algebra or something.
Yeah, right. This kid that I went to high school with is now a teacher at our like old high school. So he is setting up like virtual guest speakers for the 8th grade. And the first person to sign up to be a speaker was I can't remember his name, but he played in the NFL for like 8 years. Like some random football player from somewhere around here. Like somebody knew him and like sent it over and he signed up to be the first speaker. I know one of the guys that plays for the Revolution is from Leominster, so they're trying to get him on. So I was like, dude, if you need any like, bartenders or
local Worcester.
Yeah, people in Worcester.
Social
like,
media influencers.
But he was like, yeah, like let me see like what we can get and then I'll definitely let you know. I'm like, all right. I also don't know if it's like appropriate to get like, because the first person I thought of was Katie, because I was like, dude, Katie's killing it, but I don't know if like the 8th grade teachers are gonna be cool with me being like, yo, I got this dope taproom manager. Like, but if they let me do it, I'll definitely hit you up.
Sweet.
Oh yeah.
That was a great segue, Ricky. So speaking of dope taproom managers, it was pro. It was super pro. Thanks for joining us, Katie. How are you enjoying your stay at place?
Thanks for having me. It's a little bit weird. I'm still adjusting for sure. I think I'm just coming out of like the shock of it all and trying to figure out an actual plan now. I went through a lot of phases of like being excited to have some time off and like organizing my spice cabinet and then like having a mental breakdown. So taking it one day at a time.
I totally feel that.
Yeah.
How crazy is your husband making you?
Well, his life hasn't changed at all. So he's working full time. He works from home anyways. This like Zoom meetings, that's all normal for him. So it's really more just that I'm home during his work day. And so it's pretty normal for him. It's not that crazy. I'm just never home this much.
Sure.
I feel that.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Like at first, I was really excited because you know, I went away in February for my birthday, so I had to work so much before and so much after just to be able to take that 5-day vacation. So I didn't really have a day off between like February 19th and when this all happened, so about a month. And so at first I was like, oh my God, I can like do my laundry and like make dinner and like all this stuff. But that was fun for like 2 days. And then I was like, okay, you know what? So then I'm like, the room I'm in right now is a room that was kind of like a guest room, and I've been turning it into like a home office, kind of like a craft room. And so it's kind of like I need like a thing to do, you know. I'm not used to not working. Like I'm used to working like Ricky, like 1,000 hours a week. So it's like it's weird to be home. So I feel like I need like stuff to do to keep busy.
There you go. That's my whole struggle too, big time. Like,
yeah,
it's really, really, really nice being home. Like, I love it, and it's great. Like, I haven't seen Naomi this much in forever. Like, since we both started working, you know, more like normal jobs, I guess you would say. So it's great, but it's also like I'm going a little crazy, like everybody else. Days are up and down, so it's kind of nice. I have a lot of like crafty things I have planned for this week.
Same.
Should be good.
All right. You guys both can't just tease them. Like what's on the docket? Like, what are you guys trying to do? Ricky, specifically, what kind of crafts are you getting into?
So about 15 years ago, my mom, so I've collected pretty much every single ticket stub, backstage pass, like everything for every show I've ever been to the point where like I can actually probably name you like the 7-ish shows that I don't have ticket stubs or like some kind of a pass for. And my mom bought me this like scrapbook, even though I'm not a scrapbooker at all. But I started taping some stuff in there and it looked like pretty cool, but I haven't actually done anything with it in probably like 6 or 7 years. I've just been throwing the tickets in there and I'm like, oh, I'll do it next weekend. So now it's like overflowing with passes and bracelets and all this shit that needs to get put into that book. So I'm going to take some time, probably like either tomorrow or Wednesday, and just get it all done.
I've always wanted to do something with my ticket stubs, but I'm afraid to do something permanent and then want to change it, you know?
Yeah.
So I have like this, you can see it's like it's a jar. And so it's like, I've got a lot of them in the jar and these are like bracelets. So you can kind of like see what they are and you can switch it up. And so you can see like different ones. And then I have like a whole wall of just my fish tickets, but I don't know. I want to do something with them, but I don't know. Let me know what you do.
I will. So I probably will come pretty close to filling the book that I have now, like when I do this eventually this week, hopefully. So I'm more excited for like what's the next, you know, book gonna look like? Because the shows I go to now are a very little bit different from the shows that I went to when I was like 15. I still go see the same bands, but it's cool like watching the progression of you know my musical taste, but then also like the access I was able to get and the way tickets are a lot different now. And there's obviously some that aren't in there because, you know, like the digital tickets and tickets on your phone and stuff like that. So
I know I really like hard tickets. Like I still, if I do get like a printout, I still like print it out and put it in my stupid jar.
Yeah, I have so many printouts. It's the ones that like only let you do it on your phone that kind of bum me out because I'm like, well,
right.
I mean, I guess I could like screenshot it and print it out that way, but it's not the same.
Yeah, not the same.
True. Hard tickets forever.
Right? It's the move.
I don't save my tickets, so I'm totally okay with photos.
Really?
Oh my God. See, I don't know what that's like.
The only thing
I save all my Bruins tickets too. I have all those just in a cup. Like,
I like used to save even if I went to like the Hanover, and then I was like, I don't need this. Like, it's fine.
I saved like my passes and stuff. Like these are things that were like, this is like when I was an artist at Comic-Con. This is my
So Marcus has that too, and he had like a whole wall of them in the room I'm in now, but I just took them down because I'm like, my room, motherfucker, put these in your office.
there you go.
Marcus has to have 10 times more than I
A
do.
million. He had like 3 rows of like, because anything he's ever like spoken at or gone to, or just some like Bad Rabbits stuff, like stuff like that.
That's sick as fuck. Him and I were just texting about Bad Rabbits like yesterday or the day before.
I heard that you were texting about sriracha too.
We were. Yeah. He did that like ask me a question thing on Instagram. So of course, like my question, I was like, how can I like fuck with him? So I was like, when's Myers going on tour?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
And then somebody, I think Ed Plant asked him how much he loves sriracha. And I was like, so I commented, I'm like, dude, like you're the first person, and this is like 100% true. The first person that has ever introduced me to sriracha was Marcus when we both were at SJC.
I believe it.
Yeah, I had
like,
no idea what it was.
Sriracha.
Yeah, that's like his
He was
thing.
sriracha for Halloween.
That's adorable.
That's a great Halloween costume.
Yeah. It's a green hat and a t-shirt.
That's so good.
So, awesome. That all led us from Katie's introduction. So, Katie, the theme lately has been what's going on and I don't know, the quarantine and the stay in place, and how it's affecting businesses and how businesses are staying creative. This has obviously impacted Timberyard's production or Timberyard's business. How are you guys adapting, and like, are you still seeing support from a local community of interested buyers?
Yeah, so like when it first all happened, especially when we got that first, like no people can gather over 25 people. It was Sunday, it was St. Patrick's Day weekend. It was kind of like crazy and shocking, and we had already taken some precautions. We were using gloves, we weren't reusing glasses, so people, it was kind of wasteful, but they were using plastic and then had to recycle them. We wouldn't even let them back at the bars, but people were not really like respecting the space. So I was like, there's no way this is gonna fly. They're gonna shut us down. Got the memo. Like I watched the Baker speaking while I was in my office. I like came out crying. I was like, guys, it's over. Like, I don't even know. So then that whole week was just sort of like, okay, now what? Like, what are we going to do? We all kind of took a few days. We had a Zoom meeting. We were like, we were trying to apply for loans and things like that. So then that first Saturday, Matt is the owner and brewer. And he was like, you know what, why don't I just set up and outside with some cans and see what happens. And we did more sales than like a normal Saturday. So, and that was like, now sales meaning like, normally we do those sales with people drinking in the tap room, also ordering food, and we did that in just can sales. So we were like, okay, like maybe this could work, So then but then the thing was like, well, wait, like we're going to run out of cans because we have so much beer kegs already. So like, what are we going to do? We don't want to have a million growlers going out because eventually we'll run out of growlers, but also we don't want to take used growlers back right now.
Right.
So then people are going to be buying tons of growlers, and then what? Like they're going to want to bring them all back. So what we figured that we had a canning run lined up for April 1st anyways. So we were like, well, normally we would take half that beer and keg it, and some would go to the tap room, some would go to restaurants, but we were like, just can it all and we'll see how this goes. And so this was the first, we did just Saturday this week. What we're really trying to figure out is like, how much beer can we brew? how many days can we be open? How much beer can we give to distribution, like our liquor stores and stuff like that? Because we don't want to have beer at a liquor store, but not in our tap room because we're sold out. So it's crazy because we had been spending like a year and a half perfecting the numbers that we need for our tap room. And then that just got like taken away. And we're like, now we have to change our whole entire business model. But we're still very much figuring that out. But what I want to figure out how to do is like, how can we help the people who would be serving our beer, like all of our beer server team. You know, we're a pretty small team. There's only 5 beer servers. There's 2 cooks, myself, Matt, the brewer, and then he has like an assistant. But, you know, we're a really small team in general. So it's like, how can I have the servers come back or something, kind of help in some way, or even just like allow customers to tip them. Because I think everyone's just like missing each other right now too, and missing the job, but it's changed so much. Even for me, it's like my real job is to get people into the tap room. So now I'm like, how do I safely get beer to people without getting them in the tap room? So we're definitely still like working out the kinks, but I think we're getting there as far as we're learning. You know, the drive-through works so well because it was an old lumber yard. So it's made for giant Mack trucks to drive through the brewery. So you can literally drive it one side. So I'm in like a booth where I just like take a card under the booth and I spray it, and then I have gloves on and everything. They pay with me, and then a different person is putting the beer in their car. So like the person touching the cards isn't touching the beer. And then you just can drive through, pop your trunk, and we put the beer in it. So it's pretty great that we have that opportunity. But we just want to do a little bit more for both the customers and for the community, and also for our team that's just like home and sad.
I think it's so creative that you guys have changed it up and then like, you know, figured out a new way to do business. And I know that helping your community is such a big part of your mission as Timberyard. I know it's one of the 3 pillars of your business.
Yeah.
So like, do you have any other ways or any other interesting stuff that you're doing to help the community today?
We'd love to contribute more to the people who are like on the front line of this whole thing. But we want to make sure that we can do that in the safest way possible. So like some ideas we had were, what if we could do like family meals and that sort of thing for these people, bring the cooks back in. Maybe some people could say, if you guys want to come through and get some barbecue, that'd be great. Maybe we could donate some, like a certain amount to different people. But we just want to make sure that we can do that safely. You know, one of our chefs has an autoimmune disease. Do we want to bring her in? It's like this whole catch-22 of like, we'd love to help, but the whole way you help is getting people in your building. So right now with just Matt and I in the building, which is pretty big, we feel safe. Adding like a couple more people, it's just a little bit tricky, but I think that we could find a way to safely maybe add some food or the ability to give back to the community a bit. And allow the community to kind of give to our team too. You know, like people want to tip us, but I'm like, I don't want your money. Money's so dirty. And also like, you know, I'm the manager, so I don't take tips in general. So I'd rather just pass that off to, you know, our team, but I'm trying to figure out the best way to get it to them.
Yeah.
I could see potentially taking that tip money like Crust had done and buy gift cards to local. Oh, running out of time. We've removed the 40-minute time limit.
See, I told you.
Good job, Katie. Also, thank you, Zoom, for allowing us to record this podcast.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Crust has been pooling the tip money and then buying gift cards with it and then giving those gift cards to the employees so that they can in turn use those.
That's cool. Yeah, I talked to a couple people from Treehouse, reached out to me with what they're doing. A lot of people are suggesting Venmo, which I totally think could work too. But I also think we've got a lot of like old timer customers that I think would just be like, you want me to what now? So we're thinking, we could even put it, I think Birch Tree has on their website, you could buy a gratuity essentially. So we might do something like that, or maybe a combination of all the things, and I was saying we could kind of disperse it to our team based on the amount of hours they would normally work. So like kind of like on a scale, we do have some people that just work once a month and they're home and have unemployment from another job and they're okay. And then we have people that, Timberyard's their full-time job and, this is really affecting them.
Yeah, I got to believe you're thinking about them every day.
Yeah, one of our servers is amazing, and she just got like all new teeth. So she's been taking her teeth and like putting them in jars and selling them on the internet as necklaces. And I'm like, that's super creative and awesome.
That's so sick.
Right?
Where do people
That's
find
so
those
sick.
necklaces?
You gotta follow her on Instagram or something. I'll tag you.
Please. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
she's
Please.
great. She's got like she takes like dolls from Goodwill and stuff, and she like makes them have bloody eyes and like she's.
Yo, that's awesome.
Both of your faces right now.
So my senior year of high school, we had to do a senior thesis project, and I did a whole paper on tattooing and body modification and scarification, and like as like a study in culture.
Yeah.
And my visual whatever thing that I submitted was a Ken doll that I poked in and gave him a whole bunch of piercings and shit.
That's amazing.
I'm picturing something like that. I want to see all this work.
Yeah, they're so dope. She's great.
That's
I love that
awesome.
people are getting creative and just like, all right, let's make some cool shit.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the first thing that I did was I started making jewelry that I started selling, and I'm donating all the money. So I'm doing that through April 8th, which was initially the day that they told us that we could go back. So 3 weeks from when I started, but I've been able to raise like $600 to donate so far, which is awesome. Yeah,
I was gonna say, yeah, I really love the support your servers. Like, you made the Instagram. It seemed like you made it like the day that all this went down. You were like, okay, I have this idea. Boom, here we go. Tag a bunch of people.
When you're married to someone who builds websites, that was like me, 2 glasses of wine in. I was like over his shoulder, like, all right, make a website. Let's see, support your servers. Ready, set, go. This is how like he's like just like typing it, and then made it at like 2 a.m. But I had, I had made some of this jewelry in general, and it's beer based. So some of the earrings I make are using spent grain from the brewing process. So I was like, I have the materials, I have the time, throw this up there, let's see what works. And I thought maybe I'd make like $200 or something. But I was able to kind of do a pay what you can. So some people contributed a decent amount, and it's been great. So I think I might like even continue that in a different way. Like maybe I'll sell other jewelry, but and give a percentage still, but support your servers rolling, because clearly this is already going for much longer than we initially thought. So
yeah, big time.
That's
awesome.
Cool, Katie. Yeah, that's really, really creative.
Thanks.
And shout out Marcus for helping you get the site up in a night. I
need a logo and a website tonight.
That's the thing. Like, I love when 2 ambitious people get together and they just make something awesome in no time flat.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah. So talking about some other random internet stuff you guys have been doing, like I saw the Crafted interview on Instagram the other night. That was super fun.
Nice. I'm so bummed because we really wanted like our truck in the shot. So we were kind of sitting far away from the phone. And I saw so many questions and stuff come up, but I thought I would just be able to see them later. But they don't save them all, so
yeah, not unless
I had no idea. So we definitely missed a bunch, and even just like silly stuff people were saying. But Christine's great. I love her, and we were happy to do that. I think Greater Good is doing one tonight. Like she's been doing a couple. I saw Redemption Rock popped in there for a little bit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's cool. Christine's awesome, and it was just like a nice way to connect with people inside the tap room while they're outside the tap room, so that we could kind of talk about, kind of like this, like how we're adjusting to this whole thing.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that Instagram, or I knew nothing about it. And then Marcus and I happened to be talking. Yeah, never heard of it at all. And he was like, "Yo, like watch this tonight." I think he texted me at like, I think it was like 6 o'clock or 6:30. He's like, "They go live at 7." I'm like, "What is this?" So I just started following them and then popped in. It was cool because while Seltzer Time was in there, like I saw Travis pop in, John Strader popped in. What's up?
Marcus sent it to me too.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Marcus.
Yeah, it was cool. Like Joe Gonzalez popped in, like just a whole bunch of. It was like all the Worcester homies were like in the same large group chat.
So yeah, Christine is Crafted Beer Company, and she kind of I don't know how long she's been around. I mean, longer than Timberyard, but she kind of puts together events with breweries, basically. So we did a trivia night with her leading up to our 90s party. She did a 90s trivia night. We did like a beer dinner kind of thing with her. She does some great stuff. So, she's kind of like getting the breweries together and planning stuff and kind of connecting us all, which is really cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think she's like just a really big beer fan and like was like, I want to get in on this. And it's great. Created a lot of like social things that kind of get people together who are also beer fans.
Fuck yeah. Speaking of beer, what's your favorite beer that you guys make?
That's so hard. It really is so hard. It's so awesome that I really love all of our beer because I'll be honest about it too. I also blind test myself all the time. So I'll get like a bunch of different beers from all different people. I'll write on the bottom of them what they are and like blindfold myself and smell them and taste them just to see like what I like about them before I know if it's Timberyard or not. But it's just like always like I really do love our beer, which is great. Hazy Lightning's one of my all-time favorites that we do. And, both of the Pink Boots beers have come out so good. Like, Side Pony is awesome.
I fucking love Side Pony.
So good. I'm so sad. I'm almost done my stash, and I'm just like, I know it's going to be so long before if we brew it again. The Pink Boots collaborations are supposed to be one-offs.
Yeah.
But the first one we did was Style and Grace, and that's now like a rotating IPA that we do. And I think Side Pony will have to come back. It's so good.
Yeah. That's the one I've seen probably the most, like, in everybody's Instagram story that I know.
Yeah.
It's like people, like random people throughout like Instagram. I'm just like, oh shit, Side Pony. Like everybody posts that can. Everybody's drinking it. It's great.
I know. Mags crushed the can art too. It's just so, it's so cool when you can give someone an idea but have no idea like what their brain is going to come up with.
Yeah.
And especially with that one, I didn't really want to give her too much direction because I was like, your art is so cool. I don't want to micromanage you on this project. I was like, here are some thoughts I have, and like, here's the gist of, the layout of the can. You have to be kind of aware, like we're going to have to write some stuff on the side. You should be kind of like spatially aware. But I was just like, she could have a side pony. She could not. There could be not a person. I was just like, whatever. I gave her pictures of like hops and barley just to like, she's only 20 years old. So I was like, I don't know if you know how beer is made because you don't even like legally drink it yet. So I gave her some stuff like that. But she just like, when I got it, I was like refreshing my email every day waiting for her art. And whenever I got it, I just like lost my mind. I was like, this is so perfect. It's so cool.
That's
She's
awesome.
so sick. I got to meet Mags last year at Powwow because she and her boyfriend Rocco were helping out. And then all of a sudden she got a wall, and so she got to paint some of her art up on the wall. And I was like, holy crap. And then when I learned about like how good of an artist she was, then she competed in Secret Walls and absolutely crushed Secret Walls. So
right. Yeah. She's really, really talented.
I didn't realize she was only 20. I had no idea.
20 years old. I'm like, what was I doing when I was 20 years old?
I was going to see Newfound Glory and drinking way too much Mountain Dew.
I had to get special permission for her boyfriend to come into Secret Walls because it was 21 plus. But I'm like, dude, you've been helping me so much. I'll get you in. Yeah, we got him in. He promised me that he wouldn't drink, and he didn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it was super
Well,
cool.
when we came out with Side Pony, I was like, I'm gonna give your dad, wink, wink, a case of Side Pony. Like, I want you to have this beer. I can't legally give it to you, but you should have this beer.
Yeah. That's awesome.
How cool would it be if she waited and that was like her first beer? Was the
Oh
can
my
that she
God.
designed? That would be really cool.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Do you have any other like cool artist collaborations in the work? Anything like
Oh,
your
totally.
can art's some
Yeah.
of my favorite.
So we do. So the liquid art that Ricky is drinking, that's a couple that I met through a friend of mine. Shout out Andy Kaplan. And
Andy
his
Kaplan.
roommates at the time were making this kind of like fluid artwork. And I was like, this is really dope. And Timberyard didn't exist yet. And I was like, we're building this tap room. It's going to be great. I want your art in there. It's so cool. And so like when the tap room came to be, I reached out to them. We got a bunch of their art on the wall. And then we wanted to do this series that would be a rotating New England IPA, just kind of like, you know, like how Night Shift does Morph. I think Treehouse is like Curiosity. Something along those lines of like, this would be a way to play around. So then we were like, let's call it liquid art. And so we take a different picture of their artwork for every single can. So it's just like really cool to see, you know, these people that I met at a random person's house, like now their art is on a can, like, and we kind of surprise them with it each time. They don't know what it's going to look like. We're just taking a picture of their art. And I love this can because it's super bright and colorful.
Yeah.
But it's really cool to do that. And then we have Phil LeBlanc. He has done, I think, 4 of our cans now, 3 or 4. And he just did a crowler for rock as well. And he came to me, he like lives in Leicester. He came to me before the brewery opened about like, you know, kind of doing live paint stuff. And that's something I had never even heard of before. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. So we had him almost every weekend just in the tap room painting. So it was cool whenever he was working on one of our cans because you could like watch him paint the can for a weekend. And then, you know, we'd photograph it and put it on the can. So there's actually a really cool podcast that he was on too. It's called 16 Ounce Canvas. And it's all about artists on beer cans, interviews with them. You guys should check it out. Yeah.
I'm writing that down right now.
So Phil LeBlanc is the one who was on that podcast. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And so we've got a lot of different art on our cans and stuff. And we kind of found it all in different ways. But we, you know, every time it kind of starts with the beer. It's like, okay, we have this beer. This is the name. What kind of art do we want on that? You know, so I've actually started a database now of kind of like people I want to reach out to because maybe I love an artist, but like I don't know if it will fit with that beer. So I kind of just keep them, you know, in mind for like if something comes up.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's rad.
Ricky, anything else you want to touch on?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me check my notes that I can't see. Oh, are you guys selling your merch online too?
Yes. So we used to get it out within 2 days. And I want to post something that says, you know, because I'm really only going there once or twice a week and I'm the one who mails it out. So I want to post something that says like it will be a little bit delayed in shipping, but you can buy gift cards online, all of our merch, and we'll mail it out to you. So especially with the gift cards, I think a lot of people want to do that, but you know, Timberyard's kind of a long ride for some people just to get a gift card. So if that's something sometimes people will buy them online, ship them to someone else, that sort of thing. So yeah, all of our merch you can buy online or like when you come through the drive-thru too. Some people have like emailed us and said, hey, I want to get a hoodie. I'm coming through the drive-thru and I'll just keep it in my little booth when they come through. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. That's good for people to know. So if you're looking for some merchandise, hit them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That beanie that you dropped is so fucking comfortable.
I really like being your like porch fairy.
Dude, like, so Travis, maybe like, it was the first night we went live on Instagram. Katie was like, oh, I'm going to leave you something on your porch. And I was like, all right, cool. So I woke up at like 5:30 in the morning the next day for, I don't like, just to get water or something. Oh, it was definitely to get water because I think I drank a little too much during our live. So I woke up and I was like, I'm so fucking thirsty for like something that's not beer. So I got up and I got back into bed. I pop on Instagram and I noticed Katie's message and she's like, okay, I left you something on your porch. So I'm like, oh fuck. So I get up, I walk out on the porch. It's like, literally, it's like before 6 a.m. I'm out there, I see it, and it was like tucked in the corner. I'm like, what is all that? Because I thought you were just gonna leave me like a couple beers. I pick it up, it's like a couple 4-packs, some toilet paper, like Lysol, 2 hats. Like, it was the greatest. An owl. I got a stuffed owl. Which, of
course.
There were animal crackers.
Oh yeah, all the crackers. Like, there was these little fruit roll-ups. It was like the greatest thing I've ever woken up to. But of course, I
decided that little corner of your porch is mine now, and I get to put stuff there whenever I want.
I want neighbors half as cool as you.
Well, speaking of neighbors, like something's got to happen with the owls during this quarantine.
I know, they haven't moved at all.
There's been no movement, and I think it's time for me to make the first move.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
Do the owls need masks or anything? Maybe
I was thinking of making them masks.
If you do,
I was actually talking to Marcus. I was like, I should do it. Like, I was going to do it last night so that I could talk to you about it today. Because I was like, maybe all the owls need little masks.
Yeah. That'd be so funny.
Yeah, like a wash your hands sign.
Oh my God.
Because people are walking out all the time now, like in our neighborhood. So I think that like people look at the owls and they're like, what happened over there? So I think it would just bring a little bit of joy to the neighborhood, you know, be something to look at.
I totally agree. So one of the girls from New in the Woo lives on our street.
What?
Yeah, she lives, I don't know where, but she lives like somewhere, I'm guessing, in between you and I, because you're like towards the beginning and I'm up towards the end.
Yeah.
So somewhere in between us is one of the girls who is part of New in the Woo. And I was trying to explain the owl house, and she had no idea what I was talking about. I'm like, it's the only...
How do you live here and not know about the owl house?
Yeah. It's like the only abandoned house on the street. Like...
Oh my God. I went deep. Like there, I know that whole family history now.
Really?
People who live there.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
So yeah, we'll have to do some movement and follow up.
Hell yeah. I'm all about it. We'll get nothing else.
Spread.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The only other question I had was, where in Worcester can people find Timberyard?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. Mass Liquors. There's Worcester Discount Liquors, which is on Mill Street. Okay. Actually, I will say too, on our website, there's a where to find Timberyard map, and you can either like look at a whole list and then or look at the map. But yeah, we're on Austin, on the Gold Star Austin Liquors. And then we're kind of still talking to, now that they've passed for restaurants to be able to do some to-go beer, we're going to try to figure something out with them. So if they had a keg with us, maybe we can swap it out for some beer that they can give to go.
That's awesome.
Ciders still has a little bit of our beer. They've been doing some wine to go, and they said that they were selling some beer. North Main, right next to Crust, they have our beer. They have a great selection of stuff. So yeah, there's a bunch of places in Worcester if people aren't making the trek. And
cool.
You know, we're still kind of developing what we're gonna do. Maybe we can do some deliveries. I mean, I've been telling people, I'm like, I would personally do deliveries if anyone, you know, like a lot of people are stuck at home and have kids, and stuff, you know, so I'll be a porch fairy to anyone.
Last night, it was funny because so I posted the beers that you left me yesterday, and RB was like, do you know RB, by the way?
I don't think so.
He's like the greatest dude ever. But he commented on my Instagram thing, and he was like, yo, they're delivering? And I was like, well, I don't know if they're actually delivering, but like I live on the same street as Katie, so she dropped it off. And he was like, yo, that's sick. But now that I know that you'll deliver, I'll let him know. And
oh, totally, yeah.
I'll hit you up with his order.
For sure.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. I'm still so envious of you. The only thing I get from my neighbors is
give me your address.
I'm not going to dox myself on this. I was keep waiting for you guys to actually say your street address, and I was going to bleep it out because I'm like, no, guys, don't actually tell people.
No, then people will line up to like take pictures
But
of the
that's how you figured out you knew where I lived, because you moved to your new place and then you saw the owl house.
Yeah, I had no idea that we lived. I knew like I knew you guys like lived up in this area, but I didn't know where.
Yeah.
And then I'll never forget like the day I was coming here to pick up my keys. They're in our mailbox, and like Naomi was at work, and I just happened to I'm driving down the street. I look to my right, and I'm like, oh my God, like that's the house I've been watching online. Like, oh my, I literally pulled over and like I instantly DM'd Katie, and I was like, I live on your house, I live on your street, I just saw the owl house. And then I text Naomi, and I'm like, you're not gonna believe who we live here.
Marcus and I were like trying to find your reaction on our Nest cam. We were like, he drove by, we gotta find it. Because we just wanted to see you lose your mind.
It was so funny. I was just like, what are the chances that like, and this was like peak owl
time. Yeah. It was like you had messaged me the night before about the owls, you know?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think literally the night before is when I was working the dive, and like JT from Greater Good and like Sarah Connell, Molly, I think RB was even in this. There was like this random group that just happened to show up around like 7-8 o'clock before it got busy, and JT brought up the owls. So we were like, we all talked about these owls. I brought up your Instagram. We like went through all like the like past videos. Stuff. It was so sick. Like everybody was so obsessed with this whole entire owl situation.
That was like a really great week of our lives. Like just like peak owl time. Just like Marcus was obsessed. He's like very regimented and works in his office. He made like a makeshift home office by the window so he could look outside all the time.
Like an owl blind.
Man.
That's
so
incredible.
Yeah, that was the best. And then I think literally the night before I drove down the street is we were having this like little powwow about the owls.
So funny.
And then next thing I know, I'm like, oh my fucking
You're like,
God.
I live on Owl Lane.
Yeah, I just moved to like the hottest spot in the city right now.
So funny.
It was great.
That's awesome.
Well, I'll try to make some moves. See if I can start something up for our entertainment.
I mean, now that the weather's nice again, I feel like it's like
I know.
We're back in the owl season.
It's back in.
I know. I really feel like something should have happened for Halloween, but like, you know.
People were busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happens. It happens.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Are we ready to move into Stokes and Pokes?
Oh yeah.
Stokes and Pokes.
Awesome. So I'm going to have everybody do something real quick because I tried to do this last time, but it didn't work because it only shows the person making noise. So we're each going to take turns making a little noise and dancing, and I'm going to use...
Wait, do you know that you can do gallery view, dude?
How do I do that?
Go to your top right where next to where it says exit full screen. Click that little button. Dude, you should have had Zoom 101.
Thank you, Katie. This is Zoom 101 for me.
Really?
You give me lessons after lessons.
Even
Gotcha.
on my phone, I can
so
see
for you,
like
you were just anytime someone was talking, it was coming on.
Bingo.
That's so annoying.
Yeah.
It's weird on a phone too, right, Ricky? But maybe not with two.
It's not that bad with, so like right now there's only 3 of us, so I have all of us on one screen. On a phone though, you can only have, I think, 4 on one screen, and then you have to swipe over.
Yeah.
So like the other night we had a Zoom chat with the whole entire dive crew. Like everybody was on it. But it was funny because there was like 3 pages of sets of 4. Like,
yeah, it's definitely better on a laptop if you have more than 4.
Yeah.
All right, I'll leave it like this, and this is how I will be recording all the rest of these. Thank you so much.
There you go.
All right, so here we go. I should just play the song, and we can all just dance to it.
Okay.
Hunchback. Good gravy.
Ricky, you're making me want a beer.
Dude, I it's making me want another one, but I'm like, no, it's only like 1 o'clock or whatever. I have to get something done today. Like, I can't just post up drinking beers yet.
Damn it, where the hell is it?
I think I'm gonna break into that the growler later.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nope, that's the old one. All right. Well, it's not about how bizarre. It's not this right. No. God damn it. How did I put it?
Technical difficulties.
Rookie moves.
Well, now that you know how to use Zoom properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to leave all this in so I can make fun of myself later, too.
Hell yeah. It's part of the ride.
All right. Well, then screw wasting people's time. Let's just dance to How Bizarre. How Bizarre. How Bizarre.
Brother Ricky's in the back, Sweet Travis in the front, cruising down 290 in the hot, hot sun. Suddenly red blue lights flash us from behind. Loud voice booming, please step out onto the line. Ricky preached words of comfort, Travis just tied size. Policeman taps his shades, are you the guys from Seltzer Time? Stokes and Pokes. Stokes and Pokes. Stokes and Pokes.
I did the Numa dance. Screw it, I'll just start. So I'm going to poke with the stay-at-home shelter-in-place thing happening. I have been trying to go out in the yard and do more yard work as much as possible, as much as I get motivation to. So I'm moving some stuff around, trying to fill some holes from some critters that are digging in our yard. And I start scooping away some dirt, and I'm seeing all these little shards of glass. I think I might have brought this up on the show a while back, but I found out a story about how the previous owners of the house had a glass table in the back, and they had the umbrella in. And a really windy day took the whole thing flying and shattered the glass all over the backyard.
Oh.
They supposedly cleaned it. They didn't clean it at all, or if they did, they didn't do a very good job.
How do you even clean something like that?
I know.
Right?
I'm genuinely considering bringing the shop back outside and just
maybe.
Yeah. I feel like that's the only way to clean up like that much glass.
There is so much glass. And like, I don't know if it's safety glass. Like I'm so afraid the dogs are going to get it in their paws.
Yeah.
So I spent so I was cleaning up dog shit. And then I spent a solid 2 hours after that, just trying to pick up tiny bits of glass.
Ugh.
So thank you, dickhead that used to live here that put a bunch of glass in the yard. I am stoked on Isolate and Create. It's a movement that's happening. I saw it through, is it Urian Hackney? I always mess up his name. Yeah, Urian Hackney. He's a dude that's filled in for drums on Converge for a bit. Amazing musician. He's been doing like these dub remixes, and then he did a cover of Nirvana's, whatever, made it into Stay Away From Me. But it's isolatecreate.com. It's a free resource providing creatives with digital assets to spark creativity, inspire digital collaboration, all while still practicing responsible social distancing and helping flatten the curve. So it's basically stay at home, make something cool, all for the greater good of stopping the literal apocalypse. And it's just a way for creatives to empower creatives to make more stuff while we all have this time.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
There's a lot of really cool assets on there, especially music inclined individuals listening to the show. Check it out. There might be some shit for you guys to check out.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Katie, want to hit us with some?
I should have come prepared, but you know what I'm going to poke is the button that says, "Are you still watching?" on Netflix. Because, you know, I had to
judge
push
me,
it
Netflix.
like 5 times yesterday because I was just binge watching Community because I figured out that Community is on there and I love that show. And
That's my next binge watch.
Oh, you gotta. It's just it's so perfect. And, you know, I was like doing stuff, I was crafting, but I'm just like, yes, I'm obviously still watching, and so is everyone. It's the motherfucking apocalypse. So, like, can we just move this button, please? Stop making me feel bad.
Right. Stop judging me.
Yeah, stop judging me. Like, but for Stokes, I'm going to stoke all of the people who are working and still smiling while they do it. You know, we've had a lot of great customers come through, And just like in my little interactions in this drive-through window, like people have just been really positive and supportive. And there's a few local places we've supported too that have been great. And just like, you know, it's a really great thing. We have an opportunity to like kind of show a lot of community right now. And so I feel like all the people that are still doing it with a smile on their face, I'm totally stoked about.
That's awesome.
Yeah, agreed. The people that are just out there doing the damn thing, and that goes for healthcare workers to the people at the grocery store to the people in the fast foods.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I appreciate all of you all.
Gangster.
Yeah, to my mail lady, keeping my mail coming throughout this whole month.
I know. I want to give them like presents.
Seriously.
So our neighbor upstairs, she taped the top of her mailbox like open so they wouldn't have to touch anything.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, and it was like such a good idea. So Naomi went out and like duct taped ours up and then wrote like thank you with like a little smiley face on a notepad and like or on a little sticky note and like taped that to the wall. I was like, yo, if I was a mail guy, I'd be so stoked to see him that.
Yeah.
Such a cool, like, it's cool. They're killing it.
Yeah. That's super.
Oh, yeah.
All
right. What are mine? Yeah, I'm like, oddly enough, I actually have Stokes and Pokes going into this. So my poke, as I forget what they were, my poke is, so the other day, like, they made that announcement that everybody should be wearing masks, like, when you're out. We had to go get cat food. So we went up to, like, PetSmart, I think. Is PetSmart the one in Millbury, like, near the mall? Or near the... Yeah, so we, like, whatever that one is. We went to that. And then we walked into Target. And, like, there was a couple people in Target with masks on. And it felt really weird walking in there with, like, my face covered, basically. I was like, looks like I'm supposed to, like, hold up Target. Like, this is, like, the dopest movie ever. But
we gotta get used to it, though. Like, people just need to do it and get used to it.
Seriously, like, it's not that bad. But, yeah, the amount of people that didn't have masks on was, like, kind of alarming.
Yeah.
That was kind of strange. And, like, even driving down the street, like, you see people walking. Like, we go for a walk every day. We've been pretty good, like, especially the last couple of days, we've had the masks on. And, like, you got to do it. But there's so many people not doing it.
Yeah.
Kind of scary. But, before I get into my poke, shout out to Emily Gotti-Bacchus and Katie from Greater Good, who both offered to make cloth masks. Like, they're making them for themselves and for, like, their friends and family. So they both hit me up last week. I went for a walk over the weekend, and I had, like, a scarf wrapped around my face, which was wildly uncomfortable. I'm not a huge, like, scarf guy anyway, but having it over my face was, like, super hot. It was all in my beard. It was gross. But both of them hit me up. Dude, it was.
For those wallpaper.
Oh, yeah, dude, I had to hit him with the wallpaper Wednesday on, Sunday or Monday or whatever day that was. But Saturday. Today's Monday, so it's on Saturday. Days don't matter. So I was like, oh, hell yeah, like, that's super nice, but, like, I'm pretty good. I don't really go anywhere anymore, so I have, like, a regular, like, surgical mask now. But, yeah, so shout out to them for, like, killing it and making sick masks. My stoke is this morning. So, like, I used to follow Questlove on Instagram, and then I kind of stopped following, like, the celebrities that I followed.
Yeah.
And then the other night, he went live and did a DJ set of all Bill Withers music when Bill Withers died. And Bobby, our old door guy, posted about it. And I was like, fuck. So I, like, refollowed Questlove because I also, like, forgot how much I fucking love Questlove.
If you're going to unfollow anyone, Questlove, really? Like,
I know.
Make the cut?
It wasn't my best move, like, at all. I regret it big time. I'm actually, like, currently listening to his third book. Like, I have, like, the audiobook of it. So I don't know why I, like, didn't, like, refollow him from that. But so I refollowed him. And then this morning, they put up, like, the next month worth or all of April's content that they're doing on their YouTube channel. So their YouTube's, like, huge. And even Quest was like, yo, like, I had no idea we had such a, like, vibrant YouTube community. But they're doing a bunch of, like, live Q&As, live DJ stuff. He's hosting a live podcast. They're going to talk to, like, their guitar player about, there's, like, a session on, like, Bruce Springsteen, a session on Stevie Wonder. Like, it's going to be fucking awesome. So I'm pretty pumped about that.
Sounds cool as hell.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like, I love everybody going live on Instagram and stuff. Like, that's super fun. But taking all of that and putting it on YouTube and like having it be almost like a TV channel is like really exciting for me. Plus, I just love the roots. So
Yeah.
but yeah,
So many people are seeing this as opportunities to start creating and then putting stuff out there.
move.
Like even John Krasinski's putting up his Only Good News Network on YouTube.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. I think Naomi watched the first episode and said it was really good.
It's heartwarming.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that.
And it's John Krasinski, so not hard on the eyes.
Right? It's true.
Awesome. Well, Katie, this has been super, super awesome to talk to you for a bit. Thank you again for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Give me something to do on this Monday.
How do people find you on the internet?
Yeah.
How do people find you on the internet?
Oh, how do they find me? They should follow Timberyard, Timberyard Brewing, Instagram, and then timberyardbrewing.com. You can find all of our merch that we were talking about. The beers that will be available on Saturdays, we're gonna update that before Saturday every time, so you'll know what will be available to buy. And like I said earlier, you can find the map there too, on where you can find us in Worcester. If they want to find me personally, my Instagram is private, but I let owl people in sometimes. So Katie Ohead, if you want to find me and leave me a message about how you want to see the owls and know what we're talking about, and I'll
Only for the owl inclined.
only for the owl content.
There you go.
I respect it. That sounds like maybe the owls need to have their own Instagram.
I know, but between like support your servers, Timberyard,
Right.
it's like, what am I like I have like 5 Instagrams now.
Oh yeah, real shout out.
What do you mean?
Servers.
Yeah, what am I, Ricky?
How do people find support your servers?
It's support your servers on Instagram. And I've tagged it a couple places too. You can find it on the hashtag as well. And it's an Instagram that I just started for this whole thing. Also supportyourservers.com is how I'm selling earrings. And then I'm donating all the proceeds to the COVID Relief Fund for bartenders. So if you want to donate, but also get some dope earrings as a prize, it's a pretty good deal, I think. So yeah.
We're super rad.
Yeah.
Dope.
This is super cool. Thank you again. I'm gonna be looking into this stuff. Are you taking I'm just spitballing. Are you taking potentially other people's donations to like if other artists wanted to create a bunch of things like your earrings to give
That's a cool idea. Like I definitely after I end on the 8th, which is just in 2 days, I want to keep support your servers going and continue to sell stuff on there. And I could totally add other people's stuff and kind of figure out something like that. So I'd really like to, I started this, like Ricky said, like at midnight, the night this all happened, thinking maybe it would be over in 3 weeks, but it's clearly we're in this for a long time. So I'd like to kind of grow that a bit and see like how I can help and maybe even switch up like the charity each time, because you can only get the money that I'm donating if you apply to this, to get involved in this charity. So like there are a bunch of different ones for servers. So, I could rotate them per month, even like directly to people. I really like what Ricky started saying, Venmo a tip to a bartender when you have a drink. So I've been trying to do that too. And just like, find other ways to support people in the hospitality industry that are out of work. Because if you make a living on tips, like your unemployment is not the same, it's going to be significantly less than what you're used to. And for a lot of people, I know some people that's not even the amount to cover their rent, never mind, food. So it's just crazy. So yeah, I'd definitely love to hear any ideas that people have, and just message me on any of the 8 Instagrams that I have. We can talk.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for everything you're doing.
Yeah, thanks.
If people want to find me on the interwebs, you could find me at at Hunchback Travis.
If you guys want to follow me, you can find me at DickChuck77 and Seltzer Time Official.
Before we get out of here, I just want to give a special shout out to Mike Bertucci. Just want to tell you that we love you, buddy.
Yeah, Mike P, you're the best. We love you, buddy.
And yeah, go outside if you can. Go get some sunshine if you can, but definitely stay where you are.
Hell yeah. Keep drinking good beer and wash your fucking hands.
Sweet.
And that's where we'll cut it.
And I'll crack this. I got a freshie.
There you go.
All right. The Seltzer Time podcast is a co-production of Seltzer Time Official and TD Productions. Our intro music is Maple Boy by No Trigger. Our outro music is by The Salt Request. To find past episodes, search for Seltzer Time Official wherever you find podcasts. If you can't find us, let us know by sliding into our DMs on Instagram at Seltzer Time Official, and we'll get it fixed. Thanks for listening. See you next week.